Police officers in Thailand vowed to greet former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra with arrest warrants on his expected return to the country next month after living in self-imposed exile for 15 years. Chatmongkol Pissamaigosol reports.
The family of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, who has been removed from power due to a military coup in 2026, admitted they are both happy and worried about the outcome of his scheduled return to Thailand on August 10. The populist billionaire is set to arrive at Don Mueang Airport on August 10, which her daughter Thaksin Shinawatra announced during his father's 74th birthday this week. Thaksin Shinawatra, who remains popular among rural voters, was sentenced to 12 years in jail on 4 different charges, including for corruption and tax evasion. The former prime minister has lived overseas since fleeing the country in 2008 to avoid corruption charges, shifting residencies between Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai, and London. His daughter, Thaksin Shinawatra, is one of the Pheu Thai Party's 3 prime ministerial candidates. Thailand's Corrections Department chief promised to treat the fugitive former prime minister as an elderly prisoner and to grant him whatever medical treatment he may need if he is in prison. รายงานจากราชบุรีนายชัดมงคล วิสมัยโกศล SMS News ประเทศไทย สวัสดีครับ
The Prime Minister of Cambodia, who is by far one of the world's longest-serving leaders, announced his decision to step down and appoint his oldest son to be his successor. Anissa de Guzman has a story.
After 38 years in power, Cambodian Prime Minister confirmed on state television his plan to resign and hand the position to his son in early August. The confirmation officially ended rumors his 45-year-old son, Hun Manet, will replace him as Prime Minister. He made the announcement after his ruling Cambodian People's Party, CCP, achieved a landslide victory in the general elections held this past weekend without any opponent, a move criticized by Western countries and rights organizations. His oldest son, who was the commander of the Royal Cambodian Army, won his first seat in parliament just days ago, a position that will make him eligible as Prime Minister. Hun Manet boasts of Western education under his belt, having graduated from the U.S. Military Academy, West Point, with a master's degree from New York University and a doctorate from Bristol University in Britain. Despite his Western education, observers don't expect any immediate shifts in policy after his father, Hun Sen, paved the way to build closer ties between Cambodia and China in recent years. Hun Sen said he is willing to return to his duties as Prime Minister if his son does not perform well. Di siya Anissa de Guzman, Rangan Chakuntep Mahanakon, SMNI News, Pratet Thai, Sawadika.
Australian authorities came up with a new strategy to prevent aggressive fire ants from invading the New South Wales border. Sheena Salim for the rest of the details.
Queensland officials warned of devastating consequences once the fire ants can breach the state border. Officials got alarmed after the invasive species were detected on the Gold Coast last week, just 5.5 kilometers from the state border. The nest, found in private land, has been successfully destroyed. Authorities said it has been the closest detection ever made since they were first detected at the port of Brisbane in 2001. A biosecurity control order is now in place to prevent the movement of materials that could bring the ants inside the border. Originating from the lowland areas of South America, the aggressive fire ants are considered one of the world's worst invasive species, as they can cause significant damage to the environment, attack humans, and pose a threat to the economy. Their venom can also cause a severe reaction in hypersensitive individuals and are responsible for killing people in the southern half of the United States. Meanwhile, Australia's climate and lack of natural predators make it the perfect home for invasive species. Experts called for more government funding to eradicate the super pests and warned that the entry of fire ants in New South Wales would be worse than rabbits, cane toads, foxes, and feral cats combined. Reporting from New South Wales, this is Sheena Salim, SMNI News, Australia.